You just welcomed a new one to the family.
I did, yep.
Was there ever a moment that you had like a wake-up call, like I want to do more with my health and my performance?
Last time I hurt my back, this time I'm taking it very slow, increasing the weight as I can and just focusing on my core and my pelvic floor. Slow and steady is definitely the approach you need to take after you have a baby. You can't just jump back into what you were doing before. It could really hurt you. For new moms, I would just say, hello.
Hi, Brittany.
How are you?
Excited to be back with you. We're going to start with what is a big moment for Whoop, which is our next generation of technology. And I'll have you open it.
Open it?
Yeah.
It's a nice box.
So we're going to pull that. Yeah. This is a heavy beauty package.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Milestone
Pretty.
collection for Whoop Life.
Okay. Packaging is key. Y'all nailed it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Dang.
It's got your initials
Wow,
in
it has
there.
my initials. Remember since 2020? How cute.
So this is the Whoop MG, which stands for medical grade. Right now, Whoop is launching 5.0 and MG, two different devices.
Okay.
And what's particularly exciting about Whoop MG is it comes with a 14-day battery life,
Nice.
7% smaller, and it's going to enable a bunch of new features. The heart screener with ECG, it's going to be able to detect AFib, it's going to do blood pressure. We got a new hormonal health insights feature. So this will be able to track all your cycle data.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see kind of how regular it is and all these
Yeah.
sorts of things. So it's a big update for the women's health.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great.
And then the last feature is Health Span, which is going to show you your official Whoop age, which is really exciting. Yeah.
I'm doing that.
So you've been busy, it seems like.
Very busy. Yeah,
You just welcomed a new one to the family.
I did. Yep.
Little Golden.
3 kids. Yes. Golden Ray.
3 kids in how many years?
4.
So that's pretty good. Not wasting any time.
No. Nope. We're done. We're done for a while. 3. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can never like say you're done, but I think 3 is all I need.
How do you feel this pregnancy versus your last 2? Was it easier?
You know, it was not easier because I have 2 little ones, you know, running around that I have to keep up with. Pregnancy's not my favorite, but I feel like I kind of knew what was coming. So I braced myself a little bit better and just kind of accepted. You know, with Sterling, it was like I could lay on the couch and take naps all day and just relax because I didn't have kids to run around with. But this one, you know, keeping up with 2 toddlers was a lot. But luckily they napped at the same time. So mom napped when they napped every day.
One thing that's impressive, you shared your Whoop data over the course of pregnancy with us. And one thing that's impressive is like your sleep. Like you're averaging like 98% sleep performance throughout the whole pregnancy.
Yes.
And I'm curious how did you do that?
Sleep is very important in my life. And I make it very important that I need to get my sleep. I make it a priority. But you know what saved me is a pregnancy pillow.
Oh.
One that wraps all the way around your body. I did get a new mattress too this go around because I was just like, when I was sleeping very, very good for sure.
Yeah, lately, my wife and I just went through, having our firstborn, and the pillow thing was a real challenge. Like she went through a lot of pillows.
Same. Yep. You order so many until you find
So the
one that
pregnancy pillow,
sticks.
that's like the narrow one.
Yes.
The noodle?
There's a million different kinds.
Yeah.
You can do ones that, like wrap around you. They can be squishy. They can be hard. They can be bigger on the sides. I mean, I literally like engulfed in a pillow.
So one of your tips for new moms or soon to be moms would be get the right pillow.
100%.
What other tips would you have?
For new moms, I would just say don't forget about yourself. I think that's a big one is don't forget that you're still a human and you still need to show up every day for yourself as well as your kid. And so if you're not, in the best mental, physical state that you can be, it's very hard to parent and keep up with someone else.
And how do you do that? You just are mindful of it, or are there certain things that you do to really practice that?
Yeah, I think just in mine is like self-care and taking time for yourself. A big one for me is obviously working out. So I make sure that, I get that in weekly as many times as I can. Obviously, things happen. You're busy. Sometimes you can't get it in, but definitely making that a priority. And then just making sure that you're still taking care of yourself so that you can be mentally and physically there for your child.
What type of exercise do you like to do while pregnant?
So I just do what I can. It gets harder, as you get more and more pregnant. Obviously, you get heavier and you have your own weight on you. Then, obviously I wasn't carrying weights because I had what I needed, but it gets harder as you go. But I just do whatever feels good, just honestly keeping up with my kids and taking them places like to the park and stuff was huge for me because I'm still being active. I'm just not, in a gym setting, but we go out and about, and keeping up with them was huge for me. But when I could get in the gym, I do like to strength train, and the breathing and the pelvic floor and the keeping your core here and keeping everything together was super important for me this go around.
From a data standpoint, it looks like you had a very healthy pregnancy. I'll show you something that's kind of fascinating. So we discovered about 2 years ago that pregnant women over the course of their pregnancy have like an increasing resting heart rate over the course of the pregnancy. And then 7 weeks before, you see it start coming down dramatically. And the opposite is true of heart rate variability, where your heart rate variability will be declining. And then all of a sudden, 7 weeks before pregnancy, it'll start spiking. And what's powerful about that is, one, because it happens 7 weeks before, you can actually start to understand whether a mother is going to deliver early, because that inflection could happen earlier than, at the 33rd week mark. But the other thing, just from a physiological standpoint, is it's really a woman's body like preparing for peak performance, right? Because your body's getting like fitter right up into this moment. And so this is pretty cool if you look at it.
Oh, wow.
You can see here your heart rate variability just went straight up.
Yeah.
And you can see your resting heart rate went straight down. Yeah. Like right around when we'd expect. And so that's also a sign that the pregnancy was likely to go to to full term, as they say.
Yes. 39 weeks. Yep.
Your resting heart rate went from 77 to 69, 10% decrease just in that period.
Wow.
And your heart rate variability went up 45% just in that.
It's ready. Yeah.
So like birthing a human is literally peak performance.
Yeah. My trainer did tell me that. She literally explained this to me because, towards the end, I feel like I was, your energy levels kind of do increase and your body's feels like you could take on the world. Yeah. And then the baby comes. And then I feel like I could run a marathon.
And now I was just talking to Patrick. He said you were very competitive about the labor process. Like it was like going to be the best birth ever.
Yes. Yes. And it was. Every birth I got better. My push time decreased.
So you kept track of that?
Yes. Every year I'm like, okay, we got to beat 7 minutes. We got to beat 5 minutes. We got to do it. And we did.
That's impressive. I get the sense you're as competitive as Patrick.
I would think so, yeah.
In the right lane, so to speak.
For sure.
So postpartum, what's been your strategy for, bouncing back? You're obviously super into fitness. You used to play professional sport.
Slow and steady is definitely the approach you need to take after you have a baby. You can't just jump back into what you were doing before. It could really hurt you. But the 6 weeks, once you're cleared from the doctor, you can start moving. And I think I've really, really focused on my core engagement and my pelvic floor this go around. Like last time I kind of hurt my back and was kind of all over the place. So this time I'm taking it very slow, increasing the weight as I can and just focusing on my core and my pelvic floor to make sure, I'm going on the right track this time. It's just kind of whatever feels right, whatever feels good. A lot of breathing and core is probably what I'm doing the most right now.
What kind of breathing exercises will you do?
It's hard to explain, but
podcast question, but
yeah, it's like the 360 breathing. I don't know. You probably have never heard of this, but it's like when you inhale, you basically fill your belly up with air. And then when you exhale, it's like you bring everything back in and you keep it tight while you do your exercises. So you have to hold that.
Can you do one breath?
Breathe. I'm not doing this.
Come on, you can coach me through this. This will be fun.
So most of the time when you breathe in, it's like everyone just thinks, but you don't think to expand your belly. So try to breathe in and expand your belly. See if you can do that while you're breathing in. Okay. And then
well, if you're going to be laughing, it's harder for me to do it.
I shake when I do it. Like when you're doing it and you're holding that and you're doing your core exercises, I literally shake. It's hard. Okay, when you breathe out, squeeze everything in. And then hold that and then try to breathe normal. That was a good breath.
Good. I did the breathing.
That was good. But yeah, I don't know.
So-
it's hard. It's hard to
And
explain.
how many of those will you do?
I mean, I warm up with them. So I probably do I do like anywhere 5 to 10. I have a very short attention span. So it's like whenever I get tired of doing them, I move on to the next thing. But 5 to 10 breaths before you get going. And then you build in a core engagement with the breaths.
So like a plank or...
Yeah, you could do that, or like where your legs are up and you're holding your legs, and just, basic core exercises.
leg lifts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely working from a fitness standpoint. Your resting heart rate's dropped another 12%, and your heart rate variability is up 51% just weeks after giving birth.
I mean, it's truly crazy that I feel that, because as soon as I give birth and I'm not pregnant anymore, like, I have so much energy. I feel like I can run a marathon. I feel like I could do anything in the world. But while I'm pregnant, it's like I'm so tired and exhausted. Even though I know I'm not tired and exhausted, I'm like, I know I'm not tired. I'm getting plenty of sleep. I'm getting a nap. Like, things are great, but you just always feel tired. Even like I worked out consistently through my pregnancy, and it's like, I know I'm in shape. I know I'm good, but I still can't breathe.
Did you change your...
Walking up the steps, I'm like, it kills me.
It's tough. During your pregnancy or shortly after, did you see your diet evolve?
While I was pregnant, it was very hard for me to eat and have an appetite, which it should completely be the other way. But it's like nothing sounds good, so you just try to find what sounds good and what you can eat. But the second I'm not pregnant, I mean, I eat constantly. And I have my appetite back. Everything tastes good, and I'm just constantly eating. With breastfeeding, it's like I am feeding a child, so I have to, get enough nutrients and stuff that I need for myself and for her.
Yeah, that's important. My wife's been doing that as well.
And you can really tell when you're not drinking water and you're not eating, like, your supply will drop. Like, you've got to keep up with your health.
It's a huge, I think, underestimated element of, raising a child or giving birth is the breastfeeding portion shortly thereafter. Because that in itself is a whole maintenance protocol.
For sure. It's not easy, for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about stress. Your stress is actually declined, which is pretty impressive in the aftermath of having a baby. What do you think was the most stressful day of the year?
I could say Super Bowl, for sure.
You'd be accurate with that. So this is kind of cool. So your average non-activity stress for a given day is about 5% of high stress, which is a sign that you're reasonably calm.
I love when my whip tells me I'm not stressed. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Okay, hold that thought. So for the Super Bowl, it was 14%, which is a huge outlier in your overall data. Did you feel that?
Yes, I did 100% feel that. 3 kids to a Super Bowl makes it even more stressful.
Is there anything you do to manage that, or you sort of embrace being stressed on a big day like the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Kind of
There's
is.
no getting around that, for sure.
You've been wearing Whoop for a while. Is there anything specifically that you like using it for?
I mean, the stress monitor is great, because I'm like, okay, if my Whoop's telling me I'm not stressed, then I'm not stressed. Like, there's nothing to stress about. But I would say my favorite is my recovery and when I take naps. But I think tracking my sleep and then the stress, for sure.
One of the themes we have with this new product launch and release is this idea of being able to take control of your own health and your own data. The systems around us aren't necessarily enabling us to be healthier. And so what are we doing as individuals to sort of take control of that? A theme that goes with that is just sort of this notion of a wake-up call in anyone's life to take control of their own health. And I'm curious for you, I mean, you've obviously been super healthy your entire life. Was there ever a moment though you had a wake-up call, gosh, I need to really seize this moment, or I want to do more with my health and my performance?
When I was pregnant with Sterling, I did become pretty sedentary and exhausted, just because with that pregnancy was the first time I had ever, really taken a step back on fitness and wasn't as active and high energy as I normally was. But I would say, other than that first pregnancy hitting me hard and really, letting me know that pregnancy is kind of hard at times. Other than that, I don't think so. I feel like my health and me being in shape and staying fit has always been a priority in my life, and it still is a pretty big priority.
How do you think you're going to instill that for your kids?
I bring them to the gym with me all the time, and in Kansas City, they come work out with me, and mommy's going to work out and daddy's going to work out. It's some of their favorite things to talk about and favorite things to do. So I really hope that they just kind of see us doing it and want to take it on themselves.
I mean, I would picture them being super active.
Oh my gosh. They're, very. I mean, Braun's doing bear walks with his dad in the gym. Probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But as they get older, the more and more they'll get to do with us and engage with us. And so I think it'll just kind of be a part of their life as they grow up.
It's pretty exciting, just the stage you're at in life, and you and Patrick, and, you know, family of 3. And, you know, obviously you're both succeeding enormously in your careers. So I'm just super happy for you both.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course.